Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first episode of City of Heroes. Now, this is a classic, in my opinion, superhero MMORPG. It may not have been the first, but it certainly was the best. And it was released way back in March of 2004. That's why the graphics are a little dated. I started playing it in March of 2005. Believe it or not, just a quick side story. I was on my way out to Toronto. I was going by a Walmart, and I needed a CD holder for my visor, my sun visor. Yeah, I know, it was 2005, all right? We had CDs in our cars. And I went into the store in the electronics area, and I'm looking for it, and I see this City of Heroes, and it was like $5. And first month included. It was a subscription month by month back then. And I thought, oh, well, what the heck, why not? And I went out, I went ahead, bought it. I did get the visor thing as well. Got to Toronto and installed the game, started playing it, and believe it or not, I spent a lot of time playing it. Now, I have two other mains in the game that I play. Mains are the characters you play the most, of course. One of them is Paladin. He's an energy blaster. And then I have Paladin, what a surprise, who is a broadsword regen scrapper. So it's like the melee type character. But I didn't want to start the series with a character that was already in their mid-20s. Both of them are in their mid-20s right now. I wanted to show you from the beginning, aside from the costume creation, a character. So, Bzzt Paladin here, B-Z-Z-T, Paladin. This is actually the costume I had from long ago. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. City of Heroes closed down in December of 2012. NCSoft closed it down. Apparently there was a secret server running for the entire time, but back at the end of April 2019, just a couple weeks ago, it went public again. And I've just been having a lot of fun. This game has so many things to offer. There's so many really great story arcs, lore. There's different stories for different origins. You have magic, technology, natural, mutant, and science, and each of those origins have their own starting stories, so you can play the game 5 times with a different origin and have different content, all the way up to your 20s, mid-20s, all the way up into the 30s, I think. Once you get around 30, 35, I think they all start to converge, and everybody kind of has the same at that point, but it's still a massive challenge. And you can see there's a lot of people here. I'm in the tutorial zone right now. This is the hero side of City of Heroes. There's also City of Villains, and then there's Going Rogue. City of Villains is, as the name implies, it's a villain thing. I don't enjoy the City of Villains as much. And then Going Rogue is kind of your vigilante side of things. And that's okay, but I figured, you know what, City of Heroes, I'm going to start with the hero here. So, Bzzt Paladin, he is an electricity blaster. And so he's a ranged, he's a glass cannon. He doesn't take damage well, but he can certainly dish it out. Now, the controls, as you can see over here on the side, I can have up to 3 trays with 10 things in them. And I'm going to just go ahead and move things around. Oh, but I got to change that option. Which, it's a nice thing to keep this locked, because in the throes of combat, you might end up dragging stuff around as opposed to actually doing what you want to, which is just clicking on it. This little thing here is, well, we'll take care of that. That's our prestige power slide, which actually, I don't want the prestige powered slide. I want the other one. I just want the regular old sprint. There we go. Okay, so now that I got those where I want them, let's go ahead and lock that again. Apply. Close. Alright. I'm going to hit that because that helps my experience a bit. Gives him some, what they call patrol experience. It basically doubles the amount of experience he gets. As far as chat, I'm going to minimize this mostly because if somebody does chat me, I don't want it to disturb me during the game. So I'm just going to minimize that. So over here is where you're going to see rewards, messages, NPC chatter, and then this is just other stuff. This is broadcast. This will be other players, so we won't really look at that. So I'm going to leave this open so you can look over here and see what's going on as far as experience and everything. But in the tutorial zone, there's really little that happens because it's all structured. By the time you leave, you will be level 2. You won't be any higher. You won't be any less. Because they dole out the experience precisely no matter what you do in this zone. So let's go ahead and start. We have a waypoint here on Officer Flint. So let's go up. And I'm going to read the dialogue just for the fun of it. We have a crisis going on here, and we need help desperately. Some thugs took an experimental drug thinking it was something else, and now they're trashing the area. We have to regain control to ensure the safety of the citizens. So ask about available missions. We need an antidote for these berserk thugs. I've collected this blood sample. Please take it to Dr. Miller. He's marked on your map and compass. The navigation window is at the top center of your screen, up here. You have been issued a clue. You can learn more about the clue by clicking the Clues button on your nav window. Whenever you are issued new clues, you can read more about them there as well. So I can click here to accept it, or I can just click on the mission. Boom. And you see I have a clue found. Dr. Miller is just down the street. Give him the sample and see if he has anything further for you. We have a crisis going on here, and we need help desperately. Some thugs well, he already told me all that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll leave. So let's go talk to Dr. Miller. We're going to go ahead and enable sprint so we get there a little faster. So the tutorial zone is known as Outbreak. And pretty much it is as the name implies. It's a tutorial zone. It teaches you how the game works. Thank you! This sample will help our research immensely, despite the fact that like 20 other people have walked up to you in my time. Since you are new to Paragon City, you should familiarize yourself with the way hospitals work here. There is an information terminal in front of Rivera Medical Center next to me. You need to read. Move next to this terminal and click on it to read the information it has. You can then return to Officer Flint for more instructions. So we're going to go look at it. Now this is not what they look like in the actual game. I think these were the early versions. Medicom and defeat. The Medicom is a state-of-the-art analysis and healing device. It will analyze the current medical status of a friendly target and teleport them to the nearest hospital upon defeat. Equipping every hero with a Medicom patch is the only thing keeping Paragon City from being overrun. If you have an associate that can revive you, you may wait for that instead by not clicking OK in the dialog box that appears upon defeat. Defeat. It means dead. So let's go back to Officer Flint. I might not read all of this, but excellent job. What did you call yourself again? Was it Bzzt, Paladin? That's pretty original. Not really. You seem to navigate well. So let me tell you about the map. Click the map button to bring up an overhead view of the zone. And we can see over here, I have the map already open. Click on any item on the map to target it. The target appears on your compass. Officer Perks radioed. He needs help fighting off some rioting thugs down the street. Be introduced to a new contact. And, you know, by selecting... Okay, we're not going to go through all that. You should go see Officer Parks now, Bzzt, Paladin. There's nothing more you can do for me. Okay, Officer Flint. So let's go talk to Officer Parks. 340 yards down the road. So, while I'm running there, I did go over, after December of 2012, in about June or so of 2013, I finally had to have my superhero fix and started playing Champions Online. I played it. It's okay, but it's just not anywhere near as much fun as City of Heroes. City of Heroes just keeps you playing. Champions, I'm sorry, it's just... If you start a character, you're playing the same missions again, and then you start another character, and you're playing the same missions. And every mission, the mobs are exactly the same and exactly the same place every single time. This game actually mixes it up. Now, I will admit, Champions has better graphics. Let's talk to Officer Parks, however. You must be Bzzt, Paladin. I sure hope you can help. First, let me explain how to use your powers. Your powers tray located at the bottom of the screen contains an icon for each of your powers. That's down here. Left-click the icon to use the power, or right-click the icon to learn about the power. You can use the Powers tab to add new powers to your tray whenever you receive them, and you saw me do that earlier with Sprint. Ask about available missions. Things are getting out of control, and I can tell you we need to learn all about combat. You need to learn about... Okay. This is why I'm probably not going to read these. Oh, you need to learn about combat, Bzzt, Paladin. First, I want you to learn about how tough things can be by talking to Professor Hoffman in front of the deactivated robots right in front of me. Then talk to Lieutenant McReady, I love that name, for your combat lesson. Then I want you to come back and talk to me. Okay. So, ask about... And you can ask about them, and it will tell you relationship comes in important later on. Okay, so we're going to go talk to Professor Hoffman. And he's just going to explain... I'm not going to read all of this. This is a lot. But here's your conning colors. Gray, green, blue, white, yellow, orange, red, purple means run away really fast. Unless you're like level 40 or higher. Red, you know, run away from unless you're level 30 or higher. Orange, run away from unless you're 20 or higher. You know, pretty much like that. And then gray, you know, you can pretty much ignore. I don't know if I'll ever run into him, but there's a Rikti. Rikti are these aliens, and we managed to capture some of their drones. But anyhow, there's a Rikti boss in the future, or an elite boss or arch-villain called Yukon Grey. And it's just a cute little joke, that Yukon Grey to him. But anyhow, let's talk to Lieutenant McReady. So, you're a Bzzt Paladin, eh? Well, I've been told you need to learn a thing or two about combat. First off, you need to target the enemy you want to attack by clicking on them with your left mouse button. Or use the tab key to cycle targeted enemies. Once you have your enemy targeted, you can attack them by simply clicking the power in your power tray, or hit the appropriate number key. After you use a power, it takes time to recharge. The icon will go small and grow larger until it returns to its original size. Once the icon is normal size, the power can be used again. You can take some practice shots at any of these deactivated drones to get used to your powers. When you are done, go see Officer Parks for an assignment. So basically, I hit tab, and you can see it toggles through. Now, thankfully, these are not aggressive targets. But yeah, you can see a level 3 practice bot is purple. So the level 2 are orange, and the level 1 is white. So, and I don't even know if I can attack it, so we're just gonna go and talk to Officer Parks. I don't know where Officer Recreation is, but... Okay, so Professor Hoffman told you how to consider targets by the colors, and Lieutenant McReady showed you how to use your powers in combat by targeting something and clicking the power. Sounds to me like you are ready for a task. There's a riot going on, and we need all the heroes who can help to lend a hand. I want you to take down 2 contaminated thugs in the hot zone in the southwest behind the fences. And you can see I've been assigned a mission. Now, right now it's yellow. If I actually select it, it's a red. This is useful when you're on teams. I don't know how much teaming I'll be doing in the series. I do have friends that play. So we're going to go off into... What was it called again? The hot zone. And he wants us to take out 2. So we have contaminated thugs and contaminated slicer. Now this is going to be really slow because I only have the 1 attack. But I have charged bolts, which is a ranged attack, and then this electric fence, which will, like as the name implies, will hold something in place. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do this. I'm going to zap. And then I just have to wait, unfortunately, and then zap. Now I'm surprised the other guy isn't even coming at me. Usually when you aggro somebody, the entire mob comes after you. And there we go. Yay! And you can see I got no experience, nothing for it. That's, like I said, they dole the experience points out in this zone. So I'm going to show you the electric fence. This is kind of cool. Zap. He cannot move now. He's kind of stuck there. He can still attack and such, but he's immobilized. And I can keep firing that off on him too, and it does hopefully a bit of damage. There we go. That's R2 that we took out in the hot zone. Tip! These police drones are your friend. They will take things out that come near them. And no matter what it is, giant monster, arch-villain, whatever it is, it'll take it out. A bit of lore. They're use the Rickety drone technology. I love the lore in this game. Great job, Bzzt, Paladin. You did pretty well back there. Let me explain more about combat. Most attacks deal damage, and the damage you can take is represented by hit points. You can see how many hit points you have left by looking at your hit point bar. If you end up with 0 hit points, you'll have the option of teleporting to the hospital. If you end up with 0 hit points, you are dead. Below the HP bar is your endurance bar. Powers use up endurance when they are deactivated. Or activated. When the endurance bar is empty, you'll need to wait before you can attack again. Sergeant Hicks can tell you about inspiration. So let's be introduced to a new contact. You should go see Sergeant Hicks now, Bzzt, Paladin. There's nothing more you can do for me. They love saying that phrase here in Outbreak, don't they? And they totally did not mention the experience bar, which you see now has a little bit of pink there. And I gained 20 experience for finishing the mission. And here we are, Sergeant Hicks. Hey there, Bzzt, Paladin. When I was a hero, I learned a thing or two. When you defeat a foe, you may receive inspirations in your inspiration tray. These can help you by giving you hit points, endurance, or improved attacks. To use one, left-click on the icon of the inspiration. To learn about an inspiration, right-click on the icon. I'll give you some inspirations to experiment with, a damage one and a healing one. Just click on them in your inspiration tray to use them. You can detach any window by clicking the detach button in the upper or lower left corner of the window. This will allow you to place it anywhere in the interface that feels comfortable for you. I want you to take down 4 more thugs while our detectives try to get to the bottom of this. Click here to receive your inspirations and accept the task. Now these are like tier 3, which are kind of nice. Defeat 4 more thugs, and don't forget to use those inspirations. Okay, and I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to use them because you don't actually have to use them. So we're going to go back into the hot zone. We're going to take down 4 thugs. Whoops, on the other side of the fence. Here we go. I've played this tutorial so many times. I know where to find things. So at this point, you just hit to brawl as well. Okay, that's 2. Now, a nice thing about this character's power sets being electric, he can drain the enemy's endurance, which is kind of nice. It prevents them from being able to attack. Okay, return to contact. We're going to sneak around the back of this building again. We rip my spandex tights on that barbed wire. There we go. Okay. Good job on those thugs. As a reward, I'll give you something called an enhancement. You can use enhancements to permanently improve a power. Click on the Enhancements tab on your Powers tray to see the enhancements you have collected. In that display, click the Manage option to get to the management screen where you can pick the power the enhancement will be attached to. You can use any of the training enhancements you find, but other types of enhancements can only be used by specific origins. Just right-click on an enhancement to get more info about it. You should now go read more about enhancements on the terminal over there. It will explain levels and combining enhancements to make them more powerful. So we're going to come back over to this terminal, click on it. Enhancement levels, tell you what, I will just show you how this works, okay? Come back to Sergeant Hicks. Now that you know about combining, I will give you another of the same type of enhancement I gave you earlier. You can try combining the 2 enhancements for practice. If you need to refresh your memory, you can always check out that terminal in the future or read up on enhancements in the game manual. It looks like Coyote has learned something about the drug. Be introduced to a new contact. Coyote. You should go see Coyote now. Bzzt, Paladin, there's nothing more you can do for me. That really is the catchphrase of Outbreak. There is nothing more you can do for me. So, enhancements. What they're saying is, there's all the powers I have at the moment. And this is a damage enhancement. It improves the damage, as you can see, by 8.3%. So now you can see normally it would do 10.25, but with this enhancement it does 11.10. And then the combining they were talking about, this is a level 1. If I combine them, and since they're exactly the same, it'll be a 100% chance of combination. So of course it's a success. And now it increased by 8.7. Wow! I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get into the other types, the single origin or Hamadan origin, that really does help. It also allows you to kind of salvage enhancements that you've out-leveled. While I run over to Coyote, enhancements can only be used within 3 levels of where you're at. So that level 1, which is now a 2 because it's a 1+, once Bzzt reaches level 6, that enhancement will do nothing for him because it will be 4 levels too low for him. Coyote, looks like you're learning your stuff, Bzzt Paladin. Let's finish this job with one last task I'd like you to undertake. Ask about available missions. I've been doing some digging and found an abandoned office where the thugs were given what they thought was a common street drug. It was actually a Ricti mutation drug. As you know, the Ricti have been a constant nuisance to us since their failed invasion last year. Okay, sidebar, a constant nuisance. When I get into the city, you will see what the Ricti have done to Paragon City. But anyhow, I spoke with Dr. Miller, and he says he can create a cure. But we need the original formula for the mutation drug. I believe the formula is on a computer in that office. I want you to go in there, clear out any enemies you find, and find the formula on the computer. Another hero named Flower Knight has already made her way into the place. She's been in there a while, so she might be in a bit of trouble. If you rescue her, she should be able to help you clear that place out of the contaminated thugs. Once you complete the mission, you can click the exit mission button to immediately exit the mission without having to run back to the exit. Click here to accept it. I've marked the abandoned office on your map and compass. Left click on the door to enter. Find Flower Knight, defeat any enemies, and click on the computer to find the formula. Bring the formula back to me at once. Looks like you're learning your stuff, Bzzt Paladin. Let's finish this job with one last task I'd like you to undertake. Okay. So you can see on my map, there is the mission, and there's the waypoint right there. Something that Champions Online desperately needed is that waypoint. That is so handy. Thankfully, this half of Outbreak is safe to wander around in. Sprint, it's the old-fashioned way to get around, and the slow way. You have to earn your travel powers in this game. And we enter the abandoned office. Defeat any enemies around Flower Knight to rescue her, and click on the glowing computer to search through it. So we have Contaminated Brawler, Contaminated Brawler, Contaminated Brawler, and Contaminated Leader. And then there is Flower Knight right there. Oh gosh, that guy just barfed. Well, I guess that's what happens. That's why you don't do drugs, kids. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do what they call pulling. Classic and legit tactic. I'm going to pull these two away from these two. And I'm going to sneak out and back. He's going to run over to me. And I didn't expect to only get the one. Pow! And I missed anyhow. Alright, let's grab the other guy then. So he's going to say, hey, what the heck was that? And he's going to run over and surprise! And I missed that too. Ah! Well, that happens a lot at this level. You miss. Like 20% of the time you miss. And there is always a 5% chance to miss. No matter how well your accuracy is. Alright, so now these guys are by themselves, so I can go ahead and just wham! I'm going to hold that guy in place there, so he doesn't come up to me. Bang! Continue to hold him in place. Ah! Come on, there we go. You're a blaster, you're supposed to... There we go. You're supposed to be able to hit things. Thank you for saving me, Bzzt Paladin. Those thugs just overpowered me. I will help you clear out this place of contaminated thugs as thanks. Well, thank you, Flower Knight. Now, I have these maps memorized. They're different every time, but the overall, they're like modular, and you just memorize after, you know... Oh, man, are you going to clean that up after you just did that? Oh, man! Okay. I've memorized most of these modules already. Here we go. Ha! Another miss! You, stay there! Just throw rocks at me. And let Flower Knight shoot you with her bow and arrow. Come on, Flower Knight, do something. Okay. Up around the corner, and nothing in there, nothing in there. Okay, and then this goes down and up another set of stairs. Yes, like I said, I remember these maps. Oh, I hear a glowy. That's what we call them, glowies. There it is, because look, they glow. Clue found. This is the formula Dr. Miller needs to reverse the rickety mutation drug. Okay. Defeat all thugs. And there's nothing. This is the last room. Alright. And Flower Knight, she's not close enough, so she's not going to engage them. But if I get closer, she will. Because she'll follow me. Right, Flower Knight? Right? No, you're just going to stand there. There! Finally. Yay! Bzzt Paladin has improved to level 2. Seek a trainer to further your abilities. Like I said, you will end the mission, the tutorial on level 2. And every time you level up, you get a tier 3 of every single inspiration cast on you, which is unfortunate right now because there's nothing more to do. These will fade after, I think, these 4 will fade after 30 seconds. This one, I think, is 60 or 90 seconds. You can just hit that exit button so you don't have to run all the way back to the entrance. Now, I think it's been about 30 minutes that I've been doing this, and so I'm going to try to keep these episodes to 30 minutes. Some of them might go a little bit longer because this is a very impractical game to try and chunk up into 30-minute chunks. As you can see up here, by the way, they're flashing. That means they're about to go, and it's just those 4. And there they go. So now only the this one, which prevents against holds, mezzas, basically, will remain for a little bit longer. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to end the episode here. Now, there's a reason why I'm going to do that. There is a badge, an achievement, because Steam, such things didn't really catch on, and achievements like that didn't exist. So they were called badges. And there's one badge that can only be achieved in this zone. But it takes a very long time to get it because you have to defeat 100 of those contaminated thugs. And if I switch over to here, oh dear, it doesn't even look like I've started on it. Oh no. Well, I hope, I'm going to go for it anyhow and hope that it still exists. But I'm not going to do that on camera because it's really boring to watch me just go after another 100 thugs, although I've already taken out about 12, but I'm going to go to do that off camera and hope that that badge still exists. Because I'm a bit of a completionist when it comes to that, and like I said, this is the only time you can get it. The only other way to get it is one contaminated at a time in a level 50 PvP zone, and I really don't like to do PvP, and I don't want to wait until level 50, and I don't want to do one every possible hour. So anyhow, folks, I will see you in the next episode of City of Heroes and the Adventures of Bzzt Paladin. I know that's a silly name, but I was trying to think of which one of my characters would work out well. So, and I think Bzzt Paladin works out. Electricity is a great power set. So everybody, take care, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take care. Bye.